What is up, guys? Welcome to Cinco Symposium. Okay, today we're going to discuss a little bit about the transgenderism and the story of Jazz Jennings and the really effed up things that happened to that young man. So we're going to go through that story and we're going to go through all that. And it's just insane. I wasn't aware of all the stuff that went into it. But before we do that, please hit that like button, share the video. Helps me out, helps me reach more people. Also, I've launched a new store selling t-shirts of the political nature. Also some just inspirational ones. Come up with new designs all the time. So check out the store, maybe find something you like. All right, but let's get into it. So I wasn't aware of the story until just the other day when I was listening to Tim Pool. But Jazz Jennings was a man, and it was a televised series about them going through the transgender process and all that. But here's a clip of the mom that is talking about with her friends and talking about like a story of what she's done, or what she's done with her child. I can't get over this. I'm trying to imagine like something happening in this, like where a normal parent does something like this to their kid, and what would happen in that sense. But we're gonna go ahead and give it a watch.
But with her, I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
Okay, and just to give you a breakdown of that, what they're talking about is when a guy cuts his dick off, goes and gets surgery to remove their dick, they use the dick to try to make like a pseudo fake vagina with that skin and some other like skin grafting stuff. I don't know exactly how, but like, and they to create a hole inside him. So they create a wound inside the man's pelvic region, and they use that skin to try to make a makeshift vagina. But the problem is, it's human tissue that's not meant for that. It's not supposed to do that. So what does natural skin tissue try to do? It tries to heal itself. It tries to grow back together, and so that's what happens when they like fold the skin up and they try to make this pseudo vagina. It will try to heal up, and so they have to constantly dilate. They have to constantly take like I don't even know exactly if it's a piece of metal or something. Something, whatever the device is, lube it up and stick it inside the wound and keep it there where the skin will not grow back together. And do this for the rest of their lives. This is the process. This is a real reality of a guy that wants to go through the transition process and what they have to face. They have to stick something inside them constantly and have this thing in there like while they're sleeping, and I guess throughout the day. Otherwise, because it's a wound, it is literally a wound that is trying to heal. That is the device's only purpose, is to stop the healing process in that wound. And then there is no sexual gratification from it. They don't feel any, there's no pleasure or sensation that comes from it, I guess, except maybe pain. But so you literally are keeping a wound open for the sexual pleasure of someone else. Like that's your whole goal, is to, because you're going to be intimate with someone, and if it's a guy, they're going to be wanting to put their dick in there, and that literally having a wound, imagine that, having a wound in your body for the rest of your life and having to constantly stick something in that wound to keep it from healing together, all for the sexual gratification of another person. That's insane to me. That's nutty. And that's what this mom is talking about. So I just want to explain that.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, "Here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will." But Jazz is back.
Imagine it. Imagine a girl, an actual girl, a biological female, young, teenage girl living at home, and the mom come in and say, "Here," lubing something up and saying, you stick this in your vagina right now, or I will. That is absolute child abuse. That's sexual abuse. That's pedophilia. That is all those things wrapped up in one. That parent should go to jail. Like, waking your kid up out of a sleep to stick something in their vagina. Like, I don't know. That's insane to me.
Home once a day. I will be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck.
And then talks about choking her kid out because she's not sticking stuff in her vagina on a constant basis. And I mean, like I said, like, I want you to realize, I want you to understand the reality of this situation and how bad this transgender stuff is, and the fact that it seals up. Then they got to go back to resurgery to open the wound up and to try again and to keep at this and do this every single day. And the money and the therapy and the hospital bills and everything, the pharmacy bills. You want to follow the money on something, you follow this. Turning a kid transgender and actually going through with all the full transition process, you're talking about lifelong patient with complications, problems, infections. Oh my God, like I can't even imagine. And they're being sold that this is the answer to their problems, that they have gender dysphoria, that they're jacked up. They think that there's something. Like, I have pity for these, especially these young kids that are fooled into it, that are told by their parents, that are used as a prop for a TV show, and being told that, oh yeah, this is what you are. And we're gonna go into this next video of this Jazz Jennings where she's talking about he doesn't feel like himself because he's not himself, because they've dressed him up and they've cut his dick off, and he's never gonna have an orgasm. Never. It's gone. And you'll never have that sexual intimacy. You'll never have that just intimacy with the partner. Like, imagine never having an orgasm or be able to be sexually intimate with someone else. Like, that's insane. You took a treasure from someone. You stole that from them. You stole it from the mom. Stole it from her child, and took that, and she'll never get that back. And so I want you to listen to the exchange right here of Jazz himself.
So, are you feeling like you wanted to start talking about? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
I'm gonna cry. But
You know I can't get out of my head.
I know. No, listen.
It just doesn't stop.
It's okay. Give me a hug. It's okay. I know what you're going through. We've been there before.
No, it still doesn't stop now,
I
and
know.
I'm already going
Well,
back to negative.
But the more you're talking about yourself, it gets harder. You're digging in, and it's making you put a magnifying glass on what's already difficult as it is. So this is hard for you. I know, and we don't want to push you
I
anymore.
know I'm the one doing it. Like,
I know you're your own worst enemy.
You're your own worst enemy. So she's obviously he's obviously going through issues. He's obviously dealing with the fact that it's not right. That something's off. I'm not mentally well. And the mom says you're your own worst enemy. And, like, I don't think I don't know, maybe there are times to say that. I don't think this is one of them. And if you are going to say something like that to your kid, why weren't you saying that to them when they were younger, saying, you know what, like, I think I'm a girl? And why did the mom say, no, you're not. You're actually a boy. You're a boy. That's reality. I know you're getting in your head. You're your own worst enemy. Didn't say it then, obviously. But this poor person that is so confused and now is down this road, is committed to this road, because she can't go back. There's no going back. And now is stuck with it and is confused and doesn't know what to do.
I feel kind of all over the place, and like my mind is very cluttered and not clear. And I really want to have that clarity. I really want to understand myself and be able to read my own soul and what I want. And it's just very challenging. And I think I'm kind of breaking down a little bit and spiraling into negativity. I just want to feel like myself. Like, that's it. I don't
Like
care.
the old Jazz?
All I want is to be happy and feel like me, and I don't feel like me ever.
I don't feel like me ever. This like kind of goes off about, but I don't feel like me ever. Think about that. Think about this young individual that is struggling now, that was struggling before and was going through some mental problems. And every other time that someone has mental issues, when do we ever affirm their, like, either their behavior or their process, or what they're, what's going on in their head? When someone wants to, because there is such thing as body dysmorphia where you hate body parts, and there's people that just want to chop off their hands. Do we affirm that and say, yeah, that's good, chop off their hand, let's go get a surgery right now? Do we do that? Do we affirm causing physical harm to their body, cutting away healthy tissue? We affirm that? We want to say that's good? And it's going to take, here like 5-10 years or maybe more, but when you have a whole lot of these kids that have been that have been in this transgenderism movement and had parents that have pushed their kids into this and supported it and affirmed it. And when you get more of this going on, this is the vast majority of them, where you got suicides going out, like just going crazy, and you got these young people that are jacked up and depressed. And I mean, we already have a depression issue with young people in this society, but even more so in this movement. And they don't feel like who they are, and the parents are affirming it and getting the surgeries done, and these kids now will never know what it's like to feel sexual pleasure. They'll never be able to give sexual gratification to another, or at least not in the way that it was supposed to be. That's not a real vagina. Jazz does not have a real vagina. It's a wound that she has to constantly keep something in, that even the mother is like forcing her to jab it in and put this in your vagina. Waking her up in the middle of the night to say, put this in your vagina. Like, can you imagine dealing with that? Can you imagine having that life and having that parent that's doing that, and then making a TV show about where it's everyone see? And it's Tim Pool also talked about that Jazz is now reportedly dating women. So was a boy, right? And was into women, or maybe not, but thought that they were into guys, but then no guy wants to deal with that, because guys don't want that. Guys don't want a fake vagina. It turns out they want the real thing. They don't. A lot of them probably are freaked out by the fact that you're a guy and you had your stuff chopped off and you're trying to be a woman. It doesn't jive with them. They're not into it, or it's some type of wound that they're messing with. Like, hey, guy, like that's no one wants that. Most guys don't want that. And so they're going to pass Jazz, and so Jazz is never going to find connection. And then they're going to go back to trying to be with a girl. And, I mean, it's going to be the same thing. Do you think a girl's going to be interested in a wound area that's not like a real, like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Lesbians, let me know. Do you think you would like that, or do you actually want, like, kind of the real thing? Just asking. So, I don't know. It's just a sad story, and we're going to see more of this from the transgenderism movement, because it has exploded in these past 5-10 years, and it's been really pushed on young people. So we're seeing a huge number increase of transgenderism individuals, mostly young people, and they're going to go through this, and we're going to see more pain, more suffering, and it's just sad. I feel so bad for these people. Oh, God, I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. It's disgusting to me. Again, check out my store if you're like political shirts or just some inspirational. Just check it out. It's growing. I'm gonna come up with new designs and hopefully have some fun shirts to wear around. I like wearing around because I get a lot of reactions from people. But anyways, until next time, guys, y'all have a wonderful day.